A law enforcement source confirming to me not that long ago that those two National Guardsmen who were shot are here at MedStar Washington Hospital being treated for their injuries. We know at this point that they are in critical condition. The water temperatures are in the maybe 30s and 40s there, and it is absolutely pitch black. Mind you, this happened again, just a few minutes before 9 p.m. The investigation here on Sheriff Road, it doesn't stop with the trash. Take a look here. This is standing water in the basement of one of these apartment complexes. Neighbors we talked to say they heard so many shots last night, they thought that fireworks were going off. What's left behind this afternoon, though, broken glass. The municipal fish market here on Main Avenue has operated over the last 200 years. That's a lot of very long, hot summers here along the waterfront. We have seen some changing conditions here throughout the morning, some very heavy, fluffy bands of snow, rapidly rising floodwaters here behind the Watersville apartment complex in Mount Airy. Those floodwaters sending a 13-year-old boy into this drainage pipe. Yes, FBI agents have been here on scene at this Woodbridge home since the early morning hours, carrying out that search warrant. Now, Gatorade has to stay in quarantine for a few more months, but don't worry, come springtime, he'll be out and about on display for everyone to come and visit. It's now been more than 7 months since that deadly mid-air collision just a few miles away at Reagan National Airport, and we're learning today that some of that possible wreckage may have washed up here along the Mount Vernon Trail and the Potomac River here in Alexandria. It may not look like much here now, but developers are hoping to turn this empty plot of land off I-95 in Stafford County into a massive Buc-ee's gas station and convenience store. But neighbors we talked to, some of them aren't big on having the beaver move into the neighborhood. Now, with the official Randi ruler out here today, what are we looking at so far? All right, we're getting close to 3 inches here, guys. Snow's been falling consistently now for several hours, and every little bit of it seems to stick. This once massive pile of trash behind an apartment complex here on Sheriff Road in Northeast, it is finally starting to shrink. Take a look. After our first report here yesterday, DC government got to work overnight, planning and coordinating to get this all cleaned up. It also started an investigation by the city, getting to work to fix the problem. DC government agencies coming together to try and make things right for neighbors along Sheriff Road Northeast.
Stuff right here is getting done, and it's perfect. It's right on time, and we so happy to see it getting done. I know the tenants are anyway. They very happy.
Here's what that massive trash pile looked like yesterday. Ward 7 Councilmember Wendell Felder says it's unacceptable that it got so bad to begin with.
It's disturbing. No neighbor in Ward 7 should live like this, and let this be an example that no longer in Ward 7 this type of behavior will be tolerated.
And the DC Police Department's Environmental Crimes Unit also looking into whether this could be a case of illegal dumping. Yeah, and the investigation here on Sheriff Road, it doesn't stop with the trash. Take a look here. This is standing water in the basement of one of these apartment complexes. Residents here tell me this happens every time it rains, and now the Department of Buildings is looking into whether it's safe for residents to keep staying here. The director of the DC Department of Buildings was on site this morning.
This is an owner, a landlord that has completely failed in their responsibility to provide a habitable environment.
A bad actor has come into Ward 7, has operated for quite some time.
In Northeast, I'm Randi Bass, DC News Now. Yes, those storms were absolutely devastating Friday evening, and for one man, life-changing. His wife taken away from him in an instant here along the GW Parkway.
Before and after, from now on.
For Wesley Holden, everything changed Friday night. His wife, Marla Holden, died when a tree fell on her car along the GW Parkway during strong storms.
The only thing left was growing old together. So it took a big tree to stop that.
Holden tells DC News Now she was driving home from George Washington's Mount Vernon, where her co-workers knew her as Dr. Marla Holden, Director of Project Management working in historic preservation, describing his wife, also a mother and grandmother, as hardworking and caring.
I have to say I was very, very lucky that Marla and I were the happiest ever. She was a woman of accomplishments, and she had accomplished everything she wanted to in life, including our marriage.
Walking to the area of Morningside Lane and the GW Parkway Monday afternoon, getting a look at where it happened for the first time.
It's indescribable, the randomness of it. I just walked down here with you where the tree is occurring. I just thought I should look at it.
Taking comfort in knowing he's not alone in his grief.
As I took a walk yesterday and saw the downed trees, that I'm not I took almost comfort the tragedies that occurred that night on Friday, the person that also lost their life in this completely random thing, and the people in Kentucky. My heart goes out to.
Now, Mr. Holden tells us he has just received an outpouring of support from the community. He is expecting to hold a ceremony to remember his wife's legacy in the coming weeks. In Fort Hunt, Virginia, I'm Randi Bass, DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 6 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Randi Bass. And tonight for Susan Tran, we continue to follow breaking developments at this hour. A plane crashing into the Potomac River, colliding with a military helicopter.
And officials telling us today, sadly, there are no survivors.
Taking a look now, the crash happened last night shortly before 9 p.m. We know 64 passengers were on that flight, including 4 crew members. 3 soldiers were on the helicopter. And Mario, we just heard from those investigators there on scene. You could see they were emotional and still have so many questions about what happened last night. And the biggest question of all is how are these families feeling at this point? We haven't really had a chance to speak with any of them. Do we know if they've been briefed on the situation yet? Yes, that includes Loudoun County in Virginia. A local ice skating rink there and the public school system have all been greatly affected by this tragedy. We check in with DC News Now's Kevon Dupree. He's there live in Ashburn. And Kevon, you heard from people across the county today. What are they saying to you tonight? Tonight, a live look at 17th and I Streets Northwest as 20-year-old National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia died earlier tonight, more than 24 hours after she and another National Guardsman were shot in an ambush attack. That intersection of busy downtown D.C., now the site of a growing memorial of flowers and American flags, honoring and remembering Beckstrom as her fellow Guardsman. 24-year-old Andrew Wolf remains in the hospital tonight. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Randi Bass. Susan Tran and Chris Flanagan have the evening off. We want to take you right out to where all of this is unfolding tonight. We find DC News Now's Yamari Sisse live outside MedStar Washington Hospital, where the news of Sarah Beckstrom's passing is sending just shockwaves through the community tonight. Yamari, what are you hearing at this hour? Now tonight in Sarah Beckstrom's hometown of Webster Springs, West Virginia, a vigil held in her honor and remembrance. The town of less than 1,000 people is about 100 miles east of Charleston, West Virginia. There tonight, the Webster County Veterans Auxiliary hosted a prayer vigil, mourning the loss of their hometown hero and praying for peace for all who knew her well. Despite it being the Thanksgiving holiday and below freezing temperatures, nearly 3 dozen community members gathered in a show of support, including several fellow veterans. Basil, thank you. As for the investigation right now, the suspect's motive is still unclear, though we know the shooting is being investigated as an act of terrorism tonight. Before news broke this evening of National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom's death, D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro said earlier today she was monitoring the situation in case her office needed to upgrade the suspect's charges to first-degree murder. In these devastating developments over the last 24 hours, it has been a very emotional day for many Washingtonians. DC News Now's Liberty Simmons is on 17th and I Streets with the latest reaction from around the district.